with that hat. I love it.
All right, all, we are going live shortly. Someone wants to shoot Reggie a note.
I'll text him.
Thank you to those of you that are waiting for the public comment and for the grantee highlight. We are waiting to have a quorum of commissioners, and then we will begin the meeting, and then we will advance you to panelists. So please stand by. Still waiting on Reggie.
Without Reggie, we don't have quorum. So
Got
that's
it.
where we're at.
We don't have a quorum without Reggie.
7 people. Lucky number 7. Just think like Las Vegas, Atlantic City.
4, 5,
I mean, I don't know if that's appropriate,
6.
but this is life.
How many people are in the audience?
I'm sorry, in the audience, what do you mean? In the
Like on the public, is there anybody?
I don't know on the public side, but I know we have all of our commenters and grantee highlights are waiting in the attendee room.
We have about 5 viewers right now, at least on YouTube.
Uh-huh.
Oh, Maggie's here. Commissioner Neal's here. So now we have a quorum. I asked Andrew to send Gretchen the script. If
Well, you did?
I just texted Andrew in case. Are you would you be willing to lead from the script if we can't get Reggie?
Sure, but I don't have it.
I know Andrew. Andrew's on here too, but I just messaged him too. He said he just sent the email to you. Maggie is here, but is on mute right now, but will join us as soon as
I
she's
have it.
listening in. You have it?
I have it.
Okay, then without Reggie, oh, hello. Well, let's go ahead and and get it started whenever you are ready.
That's the gavel. The meeting will come to order. The time is now 5:36 p.m. on Monday, February the 23rd, 2026. This is a regular meeting of the DC Arts and Humanities Commission. When I call your name, please answer present. Sims,
Here.
Pavamana, Masters Barry, Butler,
Present.
Wharton is present, Torres, Kim,
Present.
Branza,
Present.
Mankiti, O'Neill, Deadman.
Here.
I thought I saw you. Okay. We have a quorum. A quorum is present. This is a meeting of a public body held in an open session and is governed by the Open Meetings Act. Excuse me. Please address any questions or complaints arising under this meeting to the Office of Open Government at opengovoffice@dc.gov. Notice of the meeting was posted in the DC Register and on the Commission's website, dcarts.dc.gov, and on the DC Office of Open Government's Central Meeting calendar on the opendc.gov. The meeting is being conducted in a virtual format with commissioners joining remotely using the Zoom meeting platform. The meeting is being live streamed to the Commission's YouTube channel. Electronic recording of the meeting will be available for viewing online following the conclusion of the meeting. Are there any objections to the agenda and minutes that were previously circulated from our January 26, 2026 regular meeting?
No.
If none, hearing no objection, the agenda for this meeting and minutes from the previous meeting stand as adopted. I will now read the land acknowledgement. Every community owes its existence and vitality to generations from around the world who contributed their hopes, dreams, and energy to making the history that led to the moment. Some were brought here against their will. Some were drawn to leave their distant homes in hope of a better life. And some have lived on this land for more generations than can be counted. Truth and acknowledgement are critical to building mutual respect and connection to across all barriers of heritage and differences. We begin their effort. We stand on the ancestral lands of the Nacotchtank and the Piscataway people. We pay respects to their elders, past and present. Please take a moment to consider the many legacies of violence, displacement, migration, and settlement that brings us together here today. And please join us in uncovering such truths at any and all public events and to use such truths to guide the legacy of this Arts Commission. Good evening, everyone, and welcome. Sorry, you can see me reading because I just got this script. So forgive that unprofessionalism, but hopefully you'll listen to everything I'm saying, even though I'm reading from a script. Today, our grantee highlight is writer Emma Akpan. Emma, are you there?
I'm here. Yes, it's Akpan.
Wonderful. Akpan, so sorry. Emma Akpan.
Mhm.
Good to see you.
Nice to see you too.
Wonderful, you're on.
Okay. Hi, my name is Emma. I'm a short story writer and journalist, and I've lived in DC for about 8 years now. I'm writing a short story collection about a future fictional DC called Metropolitan, where the entire city has been transformed to just walkout technology, and nobody uses physical money, cards, cash, nothing to pay for anything. Each story is in different stages of the process. My first story is at the later stages when the community has been so over-policed and they've still stolen all of the information that they can track your speech. One story is in the earlier stages where we meet a carryout owner who refuses to transfer over to the system, but because he doesn't have the cameras or the system, like part of his store gets destroyed by a Saint Bernard, and the person doesn't he doesn't have any recompense because the cameras didn't catch it, and the person doesn't have a credit card, and he didn't give him his insurance information. It's really wild. Um, and so my first short story, I started working on this in 2023, and that short story will be published in a journal called Killings, Arts and Letters by the Center of Black Literature. This is the story that's in the later stages. It's about an underground group that's trying to preserve the language of the people in the city because Black language has been stolen by gentrifiers and commerce and sold back to them. And that mean that to say that you have to subscribe to DC slang and they track it through your phones because they're tracking everything. And if you say anything wrong, they're going to fine you $2,000. Now the fines are real, but really the neighborhoods are over policed and now the police are like tracking people in person and on their phones and just arresting them. So this underground groups this travel to Virginia to blow up the data centers, and the city descends into complete chaos because nobody has access to their phones or the payment system, and so they can't get their lattes in the morning. Yeah. So that story is coming in Killings Arts and Reviews. And I wrote this story by being in community with DC natives and the artists that are a part of the DC Commission on Arts and Humanities. Because since I'm not from DC, I don't know. I had to really get into the community and listen to everybody talking and see how they feel before I wrote this story because I wanted it to reflect the community I live in. And so, in order for me to write a story, of course, if you have ever tried to write anything, it costs money because you got to go to fun workshops and residencies to get it done. And getting feedback on my work is the most important thing to making it good. And so I've been using the grant to apply to different residencies and things like that. And also the DC Commission on Arts and Humanities has introduced me to so many different artists, and I get to go to their shows and be in community with them. I'm also an arts journalist, so I need to keep a pulse on what's going on in the DC community so I can write about them and highlight all of our great artists. Um, I think that's it. Thank you so much for allowing me to come. I'm really like, this is my first short story that's getting published in a journal, and that's really huge because that's how agents find you. And so I'm really excited that it's coming out in March.
We're excited about that too. Thank you very much. It sounds like also movie material potentially.
Mhm.
Yeah. Thanks so much. We appreciate it.
No problem.
Okay, for our public comment portion, we have Julio Pascarello, Randall Parker, Damon Young, Dr. Laval Long, and John signed up for. How many do we have on here for public comment?
I'm advancing right now. We have Duilio and Randall are here, so I just advanced them. I just advanced Duilio. I'm going to advance Randall, and then if anyone else joins, I will let you know. Duilio has sent me some slides to use.
Okay,
So
all right.
I will share those.
Okay,
Duilio,
Julio, are you on?
Oh, yes. Thank you very much.
There
Now,
you are. Hi.
hi. So in June, I'm going to be a 12-year resident of the District of Columbia, and I came to the district by luck because of this project. So I'm going to talk about the stewardship crisis and the mural mics at the Murray Memorial Park. In 2013, the Commission and the National Capital Planning Commission studied the location for a lighting art project to enliven this part of Pennsylvania Avenue, and they found in the lanterns of Murray Park a suitable location to put the artwork. Then the commission, in partnership with the Golden Triangle, launched a competition that was very interesting and that I won. To memorialize, the objective of my project was to memorialize the journalist with a digital eternal flame that is activated by the voice of recordings of the journalists during World War II and the McCarthy era reporting. I also illuminate the pathway. So the project is divided into a functional element and an artistic element. Today, I have not been able to replace 32 of these bulbs. You don't need to pass the slides now. You can do it later, Christopher.
Right.
Thank you.
Okay.
So I need to replace 32 lamps like this one. After these are illuminate the pedestrian pathway, and I need to restore the original state after 10 years. Also, I have not been able to upload the recent software and firmware of the computer that controls and modulate the lighting. The idea is that the voice of Murrow produces a flickering that is a metaphorical expression of an eternal flame. I have not been able to access the electrical cabinet, so I'm here today to ask for your support so that the project is the proposal to destroy the project doesn't get accomplished. If you can put the slides, I still have, I think, a minute. Christopher, thank you very much. So you can see in the slide presentation, see, this is the park. First slide, the previous one, you can see the park, and you can see the call for artists, and it calls for a permanent artwork, which is understandable. Can you put the next slide, please? So here you see my proposal was to divide the instrumentation of the project in two elements, the artistic element and the functional element that you see with the dotted ellipse in red. So it's meant to illuminate the pathway. Next one, please. So the situation today is that on the right, you see the original lighting of the park with the illumination of the pedestrian area, and the situation today has no illumination. So there has been concern, and recently I received a letter from the Golden Triangle stating that they will destroy the artwork by April 14 of this year. The next slide, please. So I have proposed them a plan to restore the lighting fixtures, to relamp them with a budget of $8,975 to be accomplished in 20 days. If you consider that there has been no maintenance in the previous 10 years and there will be no maintenance in the subsequent 10 years, it comes to a very low price for the maintenance of this equipment over the period of 20 years. And it's one of the arguments of the Golden Triangle is that the project is very expensive. Thank you very much. If you have any question, I'm glad to answer.
Thank you very much. Just one question. Did you have a written communication from the Golden Triangle bid that indicated what you said?
Yes, I have a letter that I have transmitted to David, to the council. And
to David Markey?
No, Hernandez.
Oh, got it. Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay. Do we have another?
Randall Packer is here, is next commenter. Randall, are you
Here.
with us?
I'm
Yep,
here.
there you go.
Yep. Just need to unmute. Well, thank you everyone for giving me the soapbox for a couple of minutes. So I actually have I have a statement that I would like to read that might be easier to get in what I wanted to say. First of all, I'm the artistic director of Zachary Center Arts. We're a media arts company here in Washington, D.C. And we're very unique because we do all of our programming online. And so that's really the subject matter of what I wanted to talk about. So the DC Commission on the Arts and Humanities rightly emphasizes that grantees must primarily serve the local community. I support that principle, but I also believe the standard can become insular if it treats local impact as synonymous with a strictly local audience. Washington, D.C. artists and arts organizations need both deep engagement at home and meaningful visibility beyond the district. That is precisely the model that we have developed. Supporting and collaborating with DC-based artists while providing a national and international online stage that expands the reach of the city's cultural life. At times, this approach has been misunderstood. A commission panelist once suggested that because our work is online, we could be doing it just about anywhere. That an online arts organization is not DC specific. So I respectfully disagree. Our studios are in Washington. Our collaborations, partnerships, and subject matter are all rooted here. The fact that our stage is telematic does not erase place, it amplifies it. Over the years, our programming has repeatedly engaged DC-specific issues and communities. We have hosted local mural artists and held discussions around the Black Lives Matter street mural project. During the pandemic, we staged virtual town halls that convened local artists, arts organizations, and funders at a moment when physical gathering was impossible, but civic and cultural connection was still essential. So we have collaborated with at least a dozen DC and DMV arts organizations to present panel discussions on topics directly relevant to the local arts ecosystem. Yet we deliver this work online so that it is accessible and extendable. This is not a departure from serving DC. It is a contemporary way of serving DC. In fact, by operating online, our audience becomes local, national, and international at once, all at the same time, bringing outside attention to DC artists who might otherwise remain largely invisible beyond district boundaries. The district's arts community benefits when its artists are seen, heard, and connected in broader cultural networks. Telematic practice is one of the most effective mechanisms for doing that at scale. So today we are undertaking an ambitious initiative, the Telematic Theater. It's a custom-built virtual theater for online performance and other events. It's an innovative model for digital cultural production that we believe is without equal, not only in DC, but perhaps anywhere in the world. Yet last year we were denied a capital projects grant on the grounds that our work was not DC relevant and could be done anywhere, as I mentioned. So in conclusion, while I'm grateful we received a recent GOS grant, very grateful for that, and I note that I have personally received individual artist awards and project grants from the Commission going back for more than 2 decades. I offer this statement in the hope that the Commission will recognize the online telematic arts not as placeless, but as a powerful future-facing way to serve DC by strengthening local collaboration and carrying DC culture outward. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Excuse me. Thank you. That was very enlightening. Thanks so much.
Commissioner Wharton, can I ask one question? Mr.
Absolutely.
Packer? Mr. Packer, thank you for your statement. Was it just one capital grant that was returned to you, or is this a sequence of experiences that you've had over a number of years?
Yeah, well, before the pandemic, I never received any funding for any of our online projects until the pandemic, because I think that it awakened the necessity of what online practice means in the arts. Um, just this past year, I was also turned down for an artist fellowship award, which I've been receiving nearly every year. And again, it was because my proposal, I mean, I'm sure there were things that I did not articulate well enough, but again, there were comments about the online nature of the work. How does that serve the district? That's really the predicament that I've been up against for a long time.
Right. Interesting. Thank you for sharing that. I appreciate it.
Sure. Well, thank
Did,
you.
did you have a debriefing with the grants team or the grants manager?
I did. I did. I talked to Sherry, and I talked to is it? I'm forgetting his name now. Marcus, I believe.
Mauricio.
Yeah. I talked to them both. In fact, I should bring this up, I guess, right here, which is that I had sent a letter about the Artist Fellowship Award because I went through all the panelist comments, and there were things that were inaccurate and were not really faithful to the nature of my proposal. And I was supposed to get some feedback about that and possibly a reinstatement of the grant, and I've never heard back. So even though
Randall, this is David. I apologize for interrupting.
Hi, David.
That's on me. I owe you a letter. So
okay.
I'll reach out to you this week.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Patience.
Yeah.
He was reading my mind because I was going to say, so David, what's going on here?
No. He's on the top of my list actually. So.
Oh, good.
Right.
Thank you.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much. Appreciate your comments and your feedback. Okay. Do we have any more?
That is everyone from, yep, that is everyone from the public comment side that is here.
Okay, great. So we'll move on to the director's report. Aaron?
So Gretchen, Aaron is at the James Baldwin event this evening. He's representing the agency, so I am here in his stead. I'm David Markey. I'm the Deputy Director here at the agency, and I am sharing several updates on behalf of Aaron Myers, our Executive Director. There are 4 areas. One is personnel, second is strategic planning. There's also good news of a new grant award, and then wrapping up with a short recap of our recent testimony, and then an important note regarding funding. We have identified a strong candidate for our registrar position and are currently in the process of extending an offer to that person. This role is critical to stewarding the district's public art collection and supporting the continued strength of our public art program. In addition, we will soon begin interviews to backfill the community outreach position. This is one of 2 positions. As you know, outreach remains central for equitable access and community awareness, so we are moving with urgency to ensure continuity in that work. The leadership team at CAH has met with our strategic planning contractors along with their various teams at the agency to help begin shape the framework that will guide the agency's next phase of strategic planning. I encourage all commissioners to schedule their individual meetings, if they've not done so, with the consultants. Your perspectives are essential to ensuring the strategic plan reflects both governance priorities and the needs of the creative community across the district. Some good news, creative aging, creative futures. We just received a grant. We were one of 28 state arts agencies that were recently awarded a grant from the National Assembly of State Arts Agencies and the E.A. Michelson Philanthropy Group. The goal of the program is to expand access to high-quality sequential arts learning opportunities for older adults by reducing barriers to participation. The program will span 2 years, and this coming summer, spring and summer will consist of working with partners to plan residencies, with initial implementation taking place in the fall. As many of you are aware, we had our performance oversight hearing just over a week ago. And over the past year, our focus has been clear: listen more deeply, deliver more consistently, and demonstrate measurable improvement in how we serve the creative community across all 8 wards. Key areas of progress include: 1, grant-making improvements, even amid budget constraints, with more than 1,100 grants awarded annually; growing applicant participation, expanded technical assistance, and strengthened support for first-time applicants. 2, expanded public art investment and visibility, including continued stewardship of the district's 3,000 plus artwork collection, new exhibitions, and upcoming initiatives like the interactive public art map and Art Bank e-museum relaunch. 3, significant growth in community engagement with hundreds of workshops, networking opportunities, and technical assistance programs, reflecting our commitment to showing up beyond the grant cycle. And 4, operational modernization, including staff realignment, improved grant systems, and enhanced internal processes to make CAH more responsive and accountable. Overall, the data show clear momentum. Demand is growing, participation is expanding, and the creative sector continues to play a meaningful role in the district's economic vitality and recovery. I would like to close with an important note. I could not overlook Chairman Mandelson's recent mention of the Commission's funding source that was originally established at 5% of sales tax revenue. I strongly encourage commissioners and members of the public to continue reminding both the Mayor's office and the Council why this funding structure must remain intact. We will be reaching out to stakeholders, both previous and current grantees, to ensure they are aware of the performance oversight hearing, and will send reminders to them when we are aware of the budget oversight hearing date to ensure their voices and concerns can be heard by the committee. This funding is not a handout. It's an investment, one that produces measurable economic and community return. The arts sector has been called upon to support the district's recovery, downtown revitalization, and cultural identity. That work requires stability, it requires confidence, and it requires that the funding structure that allows this ecosystem to thrive not be tampered with. When I speak with executive directors of other state arts agencies across the country, they consistently note that this funding model is what gives the district's creative sector room to grow, innovate, and sustain itself. That stability is needed now more than ever. All of the commissioners should have received the research done by the National Assembly of State Arts Agencies. I encourage our commissioners and the public to view the data also on the Americans for the Arts website, 10 Reasons to Support the Arts. And the link is in the document. And we will also send it to commissioners and our stakeholders. It is a simple one-pager, but it is a great reminder of the value proposition of robust support and investment in the arts. Thank you again for your leadership, your engagement, and your continued commitment to the arts and humanities in the District of Columbia.
Thank you, David. Thanks a lot.
You're welcome.
I don't have the agenda in front of me, so I'm not sure if all of the committees are actually presenting today.
Grants is next.
Ah, okay. Terrell, where are you, my dear?
I am here.
Hi, this is Terrell Johnson. He is going to give us our grants report for today. Terrell's the best. Go ahead.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. My name is Terrell Johnson, Senior Grants Officer for the Commission. Just want to make sure it's on the screen. Perfect. We have exciting grant opportunities opening soon. Apply for our General Operating Support, GOS, East Arts, EA, and Projects, Events, or Festivals, PEF programs. New grant openings, and these are dates that you can now save. General operating support will start Tuesday, March 31st, and it will stay open for about 5 weeks and close on Tuesday, May 5th. East Arts will open on April 13th and close on Friday, May 15th. PEF, both individuals and organizations, will also open on April 13th and close on May 15th. For an important note, for the General Operating Support Multi-Year FY27, we are proud to announce that we will continue the GOS Multi-Year Grant Line to provide GOS organizations with greater stability and longer-term planning. A multi-year funding resource is being offered again this year for fiscal year 2027. The grant amount will be based on your FY26 awarded grant. The GOS program has long existed to provide stability to the creative sector. 2-year funding better enables that mission. This means organizations meeting the criteria won't need to complete the full GOS application, but would complete a condensed multi-year application. The second-year funding will be based on the Commission's budget and other government funding received by the organization that year. To be eligible for that option, organizations must have received FY26 and demonstrated an additional 2-year track record of compliance with GOS grants in 2 of the last 5 years and complete reports throughout the cycle. This initiative aims to streamline the application process for eligible organizations. For GOS grantees participating in the 2-year funding, their second-year awards will adjust according to the new agency budget and other CAH restrictions. Please note, very important, if you receive multi-year funding in FY26, you cannot apply for multi-year funding in FY27. You must complete the full application. So if you received FY26 multi-year grant, you have to apply for the full application in FY27. We are coming into panelist season, so become a CAH grant review panelist. Help share the future of arts, humanities in DC by serving on a CAH grant review panel. We're seeking passionate individuals with expertise in the arts and humanities and evaluate grant applications. What panelists do: provide critical reviews, comments, and scores on grant applications. Your evaluations will directly impact funding recommendations. Panels are diverse in age, race, gender, background, and artistic discipline. Qualifications: residents of the DC metropolitan area and surrounding areas, experience in the arts, humanities, arts administrators, educators, gallery professionals, curators, and critics. Commitment: review 25 to 30 applications over a span of 3 to 4 weeks. Participate in pre-panel review online, 20 to 30 hours estimated. Attend online video conference panel meetings unless otherwise noted. You will receive a payment of a $250 gift card at the end of the panel season. Ready to make a difference? Learn more and apply to be a panelist at dcarts.dc.gov. If you have any additional questions, contact Kayla Williams at kayla.williams@dc.gov. And that is my report.
Great. Thanks, Terrell. I really want to emphasize to those of you out there who want to know about grants and the intricacies and how the panels actually score them, come and be a panelist. We need you. Okay.
Absolutely. I would just echo. I was a panelist for years, loved every experience. I might be the outlier, but I just thought it was incredible to see all the work that people are doing. And it's a great way to participate in the arts community here in DC. Plus, now you get a gift card, which for years I didn't get gift cards. So, and I'm not even asked for that money back. But no, it's really great.
And it's
That is too funny. Thanks, Dave. We had to fight hard for those gift cards.
I was going to say, and it's also a great way to see how successful applications are written and that kind of thing. So it's definitely if you're a newbie to the grant world, but you are in the arts, I would definitely recommend signing up.
Thanks.
Yep.
Okay. Carla, who's next? I don't have the agenda. Oh dear. Okay, Finance Committee. Janice.
Good evening, everyone. Well, we held our monthly Finance Committee meeting on February 19th, and I'm pleased to report that everything is moving forward as expected. And with that, I'll turn it over to Brandon Saunders, our Resource Allocation Officer, for the detailed financial report.
Thank you, Janice. Hi, everyone. As Janice mentioned, I'm Brandon Saunders, Resource Allocation Officer, and I'm happy to present this month's committee meeting report, Finance Committee report. We can go to the next slide. Overall, so I've missed out on one visual that I will re-include next time, so that is my apologies. To make it a little bit more straightforward, but overall, we're trending at about 34% availability of the total budget. That our total budget overall, as a reminder, is 45.7 million, and we've expended about $16 million overall, with about 15.5 million available. So honestly, we're trending even further ahead of pace, both on the administrative side and on the grant side, as we were previous fiscal years, as we will see later on in the presentation. So we can move to the next slide. So this slide, as always, is just a little bit more of a breakdown on the administrative side of the budget. These are represented in our main account lines, our personnel services, as well as some contractual services, supplies, and just some other overall categories, some a little bit more granular like security, but you get a chance to see all the different aspects of how the agency's budget kind of consolidates up on the administrative side. We can move to the next slide. I'll also mention that we have about 70% availability on the administrative side as an overall number. Moving to the next slide, this is also just another further breakdown of the previous slide, more granular in terms of more categories that roll up essentially into the larger overall category. So for example, not just supplies, but office supplies, general supplies, not just other services and charges, but what type of services, contracts, ads, postage, etc., printing. So this is just a further breakdown of that. We can move to the next slide as well. And so we may have scrolled a little bit past the grant slide there. Yep, good stuff, Chris, good stuff. One thing I did want to just highlight here is that and I saved the data for just today as our AFO finance officer sent it over to my team, just for the latest and greatest numbers per Janice's request as well. And so we're actually trending at about 26.5% availability of all grants funds, which is extremely fast. I mean, shouts out to everyone involved. Sorry for the lack of a better term, but from cradle to grave in terms of just how things initiated. We're right back on the FY27 cycle, as Terrell just mentioned. So it starts there all the way down to my colleagues on my team who process the payments. And so a lot of things in between, a lot of reshaping, a lot of modernizing of processes. And we're just so happy that we're just continuing to build off of that as a unit overall, because, our overall agency mission is delivering these funds as soon as possible so that they can widespread usage across the district. And then with that said, we can kind of move on to what I wanted to include a little bit, some a little bit more time vetting this for everyone. And this was our year-to-year comparison so that it can bring a little bit more context in terms of kind of what I was just sharing. So if you don't listen to me or my yapping, so to speak, you can just refer to these tables in terms of the year-to-year breakdown, in which, long story less long, my first I believe my offer date was actually February 6th, and my first date was the 26th 2 years ago. So it's pretty cool, capturing of my overall last 2 years as well. And just going from left to right, you can see from FY24 on the far left, starting with FY26 to the far right, our numbers, unfortunately, the budget hasn't gone in the right direction for numerous reasons, of course, other contexts, but the way in which we expend the budget, the overall percentage, that has just become more efficient. And just kind of wanted to speak to that, even in the year in which we had transformational numbers. And this is the agency side. We can move to the next slide as well, which is the final slide. These are the grants numbers overall in terms of just how much faster we're processing these overall. We approve things as well transparently every day. So some of this is just a screenshot and the capture of even the numbers, and we're still even doing more work probably to meet these marks. So we're just pleased and happy to see the overall output of all of the hard work and different changes to our different cadences internally as well. And so thank y'all, and I'm happy to answer any additional questions as well.
Great work,
Thank-
Brandon. Great,
Yeah.
like really great
Yeah.
presentation, like lots of clapping. Yes, thank you.
Thanks,
happy.
Janice. Thanks, Brandon.
I was gonna say
Brandon,
thank you, James.
that was super clear. So thank you, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. And I know we also spoke about this in previous commissioner meetings. Our finance committee meetings are also very, hopefully I can continue doing, presentations like this to show what we kind of talk about in our own sessions as Janice and Julie, and they challenge us to come up with this type of data and push us more each time. But we're also very much available to answer even like line item questions of the budget. It's very much more of a dynamism to our spend plan. But that's what the meetings are for. Maybe not as much for this larger macro setting, but I'm always happy to research data in our past. Always happy to share where we're going.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Take care, everyone.
We have one of the additional public commenters in the attendees gallery. Why don't we go there first before we go to our next report?
Sure. I'm gonna upgrade Demond Ardell to panelist for public comment. Give me one moment. All right. Demond is now there. Thank you, Demond. You can give your comment. You have 3 minutes. Are you there? No? Demond? Maybe they dropped off.
Hmm.
Okay. Well,
We'll go to our next committee report.
we'll go next committee report is public art.
Okay.
Thank you.
Where are you? Oh, there you are. Okay. Carla, go ahead.
Okay, the Public Arts Committee, we had a meeting February the 12th, and we had a chock full of activities happening with the public arts. So Karen Miller, our public arts manager, will go through the details of it, and then we have a vote.
Thank you, Commissioner Sims. Good evening, everyone. I'm Corinne Miller. I lead the public arts team here at the DC Commission on the Arts and Humanities. I use she, her pronouns. I'm a white woman with brown hair, glasses, and tonight I'm wearing a red sweater. So as Commissioner Sims mentioned, the Public Art Committee met on Thursday, February 12th. I'll give a overview of our report that the team gave. And then as Commissioner Sims mentioned, we have a funding recommendation as well. So this month's report highlights the Public Art Department's ongoing work with FY26 grantees, as well as our preparations for the FY27 grant cycle. So these efforts include transitioning from jungle lasers to Submittable, our new grants management system. And as part of this process, the team has carefully reviewed the requests for applications, application questions, with a focus on refining review criteria across grant lines to ensure consistency and clarity, along with reducing redundancy. And so while the intent and content of the criteria remained aligned with previous language, it's now more streamlined. To support this transition, the Public Arts and Grants team will host a workshop covering updates for the new system and any key changes to the application language as well. I also want to mention that upcoming on Tuesday, May 12th from 6 to 9 p.m., CAH will host a hybrid town hall entitled AI and Art, Creativity, Ethics, and the Future of Cultural Work. It'll be hybrid, so it'll be via Zoom as well as in person at 200 I Street in our multi-purpose room. An update on the FY26 grant Art Bank program. So our grantees continue to advance through the payment process, and demand for applicant debriefs grow, which the team is working through. We're also preparing for the spring launch of FY27 Art Bank RFA. And we're actively engaging artists and jurors along with coordinating events leading up to the Art Bank 40th anniversary in fall of 2026. So I'll next highlight our FY26 Art Exhibition Curatorial Grant Program. We've talked about this special exhibition at a couple of our meetings, but we hosted the opening reception and artist talk Inside Out, Dignity in the Art of Seeing, which is curated by Emma Pierce and Vicky Toback. So the exhibition empowers incarcerated photographers to shape their own narratives with work from women in the DC jail alongside images from men in Lorton Prison, which highlights a pivotal chapter in the agency's 1980s Arts in Prison initiative. The exhibition has support from the Mayor's Office of Returning Citizens and the Mayor's Office of Women Policy Initiatives. The closing reception will be next week on Thursday, March 5th from 6 to 8 p.m. So it closes soon. If you haven't had a chance to see it, it's a really special exhibition. And then we have a couple highlights from press coverage. So Living Local DMV interview and a Fox 5 interview with lots of props to our new communications lead for those placements, India Wright. I want to highlight our next exhibition as well. So Finders Keepers will be the next show in the gallery with curators Ira Tattleman and Kanchan Balse. That'll open on April 2nd from 6 to 8 p.m. And then there'll be a number of public programs as well, including an Earth Day performance, a Finders Walk, and then a closing reception and artist talk. Go to the next page. Thanks. And then the Juried Exhibition Grant Program. So on December 1st, we closed the call for entries for Rip Tear Collages Critique with a whopping 95 eligible submissions. So the exhibition is scheduled for June 11th through August 7th, and we'll invite DC artists who use collage not only as a visual method, but as a lens for cultural, political, ecological, and personal inquiry and critique. So on January 26th, the jury met, discussed the top scoring applicants with a standard cutoff of 7, and then made recommendations for 23 artists and 36 artworks for the total funding amount of $30,000 and $450. So we'll talk a little bit more about that in a moment, but I'll give an update on a couple of other programs first. So we have a couple of FY26 Public Art Building Communities grantees who are working through their projects. The NOMA Business Improvement District presented its public art project Curve at the January 2026 meeting at the U.S. Commission of Fine Arts. The commission members expressed support for the project, offered recommendations, and recommended that the NOMA bid and team return for final review. I'm happy to report that happened last week and it was unanimously supported and approved, which is great news for this project. The Southwest Business Improvement District's FY25 project received Public Space Committee support in January, so that project is moving along as well with a pending May installation. Finally, the Color the Curb program closed on January 12th, 2026 using our new grants management system Submittable, which went very smoothly. We had 20 eligible applications that went for review actually last Wednesday, February 18th, 2026. So hopefully we'll be bringing that funding recommendation back soon. Fresh Paint, our new mural program. The request for applications for muralists was released last December, and the deadline's actually today, so it'll close at 9 p.m. this evening. We're working through site selection in collaboration with partners at the Downtown Business Improvement District and two Main Street partners. And then looking ahead, we're developing a process moving forward to accept site selection nominations and collect information from interested partners. Just a couple more updates. We have a lot happening. So as far as collections management goes, the Art Bank loan program remains very popular with an active list of 28 requests. The first installs of the year took place at the Public Employee Relations Board and the Commission on Judicial Disabilities and Tenure. We've also been able to make some really wonderful updates to our e-museum, which is the public-facing site for our collection, and the new website is ready to explore along with the FY26 acquisitions, which have been added to the site as well. So building a lot of like user friendliness and better user experience into these things. And then the Public Art Committee got a first look at the draft of the DC Public Art Map that the team's been working on. It'll have interactive filter and search features, and it's a digital tool that will help residents and visitors navigate our extensive public art collection. So we're getting feedback still. It's still in draft mode with working groups and different stakeholders. So
I see Julianne's hand up.
I just had a question. I had a artist reach out to me that has a piece that's in the commission's e-museum or in our archives and asked me, where is it? Where is my art? And I have not followed up to be like, Karen, please tell me how to do this. So in that e-museum, does it say where someone's art is?
yeah, it typically does. If they search it, they'll see it. And if they can't find it, we're always happy to talk to folks and give them a little more info.
Okay, great. I will go and do that search and see. That's awesome. Okay, thank you.
Brandon, I'm going to go to the second doc.
Am I correct? Do we have to vote?
Yes, we have a vote.
Right.
Yeah, I can walk through the funding recommendation next if we're ready for that.
Yeah, if you finish the other part of your report, yeah.
The report is complete.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks for pulling that up, Chris. So we have two documents. We have the funding recommendation memo, which is this doc, and then just a spreadsheet outlining the recommendations as well. But you can go to that first document, Chris, or whoever's driving here. So this is the funding recommendation for the Juried Exhibition Grant Program. Michelle May Curry, our lead on this program, isn't here tonight, but she's been stewarding this project beautifully. But the DC Commission on the Arts and Humanities requested applications from qualified artists for its fiscal year 2026 Juried Exhibition Grant, which we call JEG for short. So JEG provides support for district-based artists to exhibit their work in a juried-themed visual art exhibition through grant awards, as well as use of CAH's exhibition space located at 200 I Street Southeast. So this year, the request for applications sought works for an exhibition titled Rip Tear, Collage's Critique, which centers collage as an accessible and hyper-contemporary tool for engaging in social commentary. In a time when our nation and social fabric is experiencing deep division, fragmentation, and transformation, collage can emerge as a democratic form through which artists can explore stories of rupture, repair, and reassembly. So artists were invited to interpret collage broadly, both as a direct practice, a conceptual tool, or a material metaphor, and were encouraged to explore how fragmenting, remixing, and juxtaposing images, materials, and methods can reflect the complexity of our shared condition. So for the purposes of this grant, Metropolitan Artist was defined as a legal resident of Washington, D.C. for at least 1 year prior to the application deadline. Award amounts vary based on the number and scope of works accepted for installation. And the program goals include providing the opportunity for DC artists to exhibit their work in an innovative and educational thematic art exhibition, providing support, exposure, and professional benefits for visual artists residing in the district, and providing unique exhibitions and related programs for DC residents and visitors. So we have one cycle of this program this fiscal year. A little bit about award amount history. We haven't run this program since 2024. So for this cycle, we're proposing $30,450 in grant funding, 23 artists and 36 works. You'll see the last time we ran it, it was $20,000, 20 artists and 50 artworks. We held one panel. Michelle May Curry is our lead, and I was able to convene the panel. So a little bit more information about the ranking and the award justification. So all eligible applications were reviewed and scored by panelists in an online review of portfolios on a scale of 1 to 10. Panelists recommended select works for full panel discussion with a standard cutoff of 7. The team also reviewed all recommendations from the panels. In some instances, the team may recommend a work be added or removed from the list of recommended works. This is based upon the criteria defined in the RFA, including aesthetic and conceptual strength, theme, and district impact. Allocation of funds. So the funding is available to support the recommendation of 23 artists' work for an exhibition displaying 36 artworks. Artists are funded in full based on the number of works selected for installation and scale of commissioned work. For one exhibited artwork, it's 1,050 artists with 2 or more exhibited artworks. It will be 1,575. And then for site-specific installations, it's 2,100. So the total recommended request is 30,450. A few outreach and observations. So there was a 94% increase in completed applications between FY26 and FY24. So it went from 49 to 95. And first-time applicants accounted for 26% of the pool. This is really quite a remarkable jump. If Michelle were presenting, she wouldn't say this, but it's largely due to the massive amount of outreach that Michelle has done around this particular exhibition and program. There's I think very, very deep and important staff investment around it. Among the 95 applicants, 24% were accepted. The highest number of applicants came from Ward 1 with 21 artists. Wards 3 and 4 had 13 artists. And then outreach efforts were increased by the following. So sending personal emails to individual DC artists and arts groups, encouraging them to apply, additional one-on-one meetings and portfolio reviews, studio visits, assisting with technical issues and answering questions, and then facilitating 3 different grants workshops with a total of 44 attendees that were held on October 31st, November 5th, and November 17th. So really, really robust outreach and research being done for this upcoming exhibition. If you look below, we have the breakdown in terms of applicants and awardees. And then the sheet on the next page shows an even deeper breakdown.
Yeah, no, we can't read that.
You make it do you want it a little bigger? Sorry.
No, it's fine.
Okay. I can't read it either, if that's any consolation.
Just for
Okay.
the public, I think it's important to say that all of those documents were given to all the commissioners to review outside of the screen that we cannot read.
Yeah, they're all online on the webpage and packet for this evening's commission meeting.
Okay,
I'll
that
just
sounds
offer
great. Sorry, Dave, go ahead.
congratulations. No, I was going to say congratulations. It's just on a terrific season. It's very
It
exciting.
is. Yeah, I love it. Okay, we have to vote on this, so I need to entertain a motion.
Do we see that our chair is here?
Yeah, we do, but I still want to, let's finish this.
Sorry, I
Yeah,
was
once
muted.
they do the resolution, you just go to the vote by commissioner. The
Oh,
resolution is the motion.
Right. The
Oh,
Public
all
Arts
right.
Committee recommends the adoption of the following resolution. Resolved that the commission adopt the funding recommendations for the FY 2026 juried exhibition grant as presented for the total funding amount of $30,450.
Okay.
Do you want me to take it from here?
Sure.
Gretchen, or do you got it?
I was just going to go down the list of
Okay.
people. Go ahead, Reggie.
No, so I'll call your name. If you're in favor, say aye. If you're opposed, say no or abstain. Excuse me, Commissioner Sims,
Aye.
Havana, Barry, Butler, Wharton,
Yes.
Torres, Kim,
Yes.
Brienza,
Yes.
Minkiti, O'Neill, Stedman.
Yes.
It passes. And my apologies for getting my time zones completely wrong. I'm in Chicago, so I was an hour behind. Sorry about that. But Gretchen, you can take it from here. Sorry.
That pretty much does it, unless there's any unfinished business.
We have the arts education report. Sorry.
Oh, you do? Okay, it's
Yep.
not on the agenda that I have. Okay.
Oh, Andrew. Okay, I'll share it right now.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Andrea Brown. I'm the Arts Learning Coordinator here at DC Commission on the Arts and Humanities. The Arts Education Committee met on Tuesday, February 10th. In attendance, there was Committee Chair Hector Torres, myself, and Arts Learning Specialist Mauricio Pita. Our agency will be hosting a Poetry Out Loud Words on Fire festival, which will take place on Saturday, March 7th from 11 until 1 p.m., which will be followed by the Words on Fire Original Poetry Festival, which will take place same location, 2 p.m. until 4 p.m. at Planet Word Museum, located at 925 13th Street Northwest. Please come out if you can. The event is free. This year's program will start with Poetry Out Loud recitation, which will be represented by 7 DC area high school students who will be finalists, followed by Words on Fire spoken word, which is a written and spoken word contest for students in 8th through 12th grade. Students interested in participating in Words on Fire are encouraged to sign up to secure a spot. You can find this information on our website and also on our social media. Both events are free and open to the public. Those who are looking to attend are encouraged to register via Eventbrite. Again, you can find the information on our website. And if you have any questions, please reach out to me, Andrea Brown, Andrea.Brown, the number 3 at dc.gov, or Arts Learning Specialist Mauricio Pita, mauricio.pita at dc.gov. Thank you.
Thank you. For those of you who may never have been to one of these events, they are absolutely fascinating. I mean, I remember the first time I went, I sat there with my mouth open, just listening to everything that came out of these young people's mouths. It was just incredible. So please try to go. Thank you so much.
I just want to say I put it on my calendar because I didn't go last year and Hector talked so much about it. It's on my calendar. I'm going to be there. And I'm so happy it's at Planet Word because it's so much easier to get to. So I'm really looking forward to coming and supporting the event.
It really is amazing. It really is amazing.
Yeah. Okay, are there any other reports?
There was a note here. I don't know if it made it to the agenda or the script that you have, but there's a new date proposed for March's public meeting.
Yep, I can read that. I can do that, Chris.
I don't have that.
So thank you, Gretchen. Apologies again for my being late, but did we cover any new business? Was there any new business to cover?
We did not. That was next.
No, I'm sorry. So is there any new business? Being none, the full commission will meet on March 23rd, 2026, instead of its previously scheduled meeting. please ensure that your calendar reflects the new date. With there being no other new business, we'll proceed to close the meeting unless there's any other topic that I may have missed in my absence. If not, the next meeting of the commission will be held Monday, March 23rd, 2026 at 5:30 p.m. The time is now 5:40 p.m. and this meeting is adjourned. Thank you.